hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess and I want to check in with myself, with y'all about series because I'm so bad at continuing them. Both books and TV series. We're not here to talk about TV though today, but I could tell you a long list of shows that I'm in the middle of because it stresses me out to finish them, but that's not the point here. I want to talk about some series that I'm in the middle of or have read one book and I have the others. So I'm like, girl, what are you doing? But I keep getting books from the library instead of reading the books that I own, or I keep reading romances instead of continuing the series that I'm reading. Ugh. I know it's not just me. I know I'm not alone, and so I just want to voice that, just in case you think you're alone. So I do own most of what's on this list, and these are ones I want to make progress in. So now we're at almost the midpoint of the year, and I would like to make progress in these series. Does not mean I'm going to catch up, but I would like to at least read another book in the series. Do you know what I'm saying? So the first one I'm gonna start with is actually technically, okay, so I'll just go ahead. This Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. Now, I know, this is in the larger series of the Realm of the Elderlings, but this is the second one after the Farseer trilogy, which I read the first two. I DNF'd the third. It was spoiled for me, so I know what happens. I asked someone to spoil it for me. And then this is the next series, the Live Ship Trader series. There are three. I already own all three of them. And Robin texted me yesterday and said, we're reading Ship of Magic in July. So I was like, okay. This is 880 pages. 880 pages. So, basically, if I want to make progress in these series, the books that I'm talking about in this video are basically going to be my TBR for the rest of the year because I don't know when else I'm supposed to have time to read anything else outside of these thickums because there's more thickums on this list. Ship of Magic. So, I have hope that I will like this one a lot better than the Farseer trilogy. I didn't love the Farseer. I know a lot of people do. Fitz, too much. He's so pitiful. But this is not just this is multiple POVs, I'm pretty sure. And the Farseer trilogy is just in Fitz's POV. And I think that's what really killed it for me. I was like, boy, please, can we be in someone else's head? And so this one is like, these ships, I don't know about these things. The ships are sentient, I think, in this one. Again, I know a little bit, I don't know a lot, but Robin said we're reading it in July, and I already told her that we're reading something else, and she already bought the book, so like I kind of have to. Anyway, so that's the first one, and I was like, what are we supposed to be reading this and then continue the series? She said, girl, no, we're just gonna start with this one. Unless it's so good, then we'll just have to continue. And I'm like, Miss Robin, what do you got to say? And they're all like 880 pages. You know, if we do continue, I already have them, but there's that first one, Ship of Magic. Okay, then continuing on the pattern of Chonky Chonkertons and the books that I'm making Robin read, and also I'm some of my patrons are going to be joining me also. Oh, my archive. Okay, I can't even hold those on. I cannot. Brandon, you will be paying for physical therapy. The Stormlight Archive by Brandy Sandy. I literally can't hold these all up. We start with The Way of Kings, which I have read, but I think I read this in 2020. I don't remember much. So my plan is to reread it along with Words of Radiance, which I've also read, and I don't remember much. So rereading these two, and then finally, Jesus Christ, my hands are not big enough for this. Finally reading Oathbringer. Oh my God. And then, Jesus Christ. Then reading Rhythm of War in preparation for, here it is, the 5th one that comes out in December. So we're gonna be starting in August. Wait, August, September, October, November. Yes, so August, Way of Kings. September, Words of Radiance. October, Oathbringer. Oh, that's cute. Oh, October, Oathbringer. November, Rhythm of War. December, Newbie. Now, I know you're like, Jessica. All right, shh. I need you to believe in me, okay? I need you to believe in me. Please. Encouraging words only. Because the shortest one is like 1,000 pages and they grow from there. And I obviously have these big US hardcovers. I really wish I had the paperbacks that were nice, big and floppy, but I don't feel justified to purchase the paperbacks when I already own these. And I already have some tabs in this from my first read, so it'll be interesting to see what I tabbed. But yeah. Now this is the one where I am trying to be up to date and read all of these. I know it's a tall order, especially for me and my brain. And because when Rhythm of War came out, I was so jelly because everyone was so hyped and talking about it and making videos and all the things, and I had to avoid it all because I wasn't up to date. And this time I want to be on the hype train. I want to join the popular kids. Yeah, it's coming out and be like, yeah, and have all these speculations and be able to watch the videos and stuff. I want to participate in that, goddammit. So I'm gonna do it. I'm going to be caught up by the time the new one, the 5th one, releases. So Stormlight Archive is supposed to be 10 books total, but in 2 arcs. So this 5th one that comes out in December is supposed to be the completion of the 1st arc. So like you can read that and that, you know? And then Branderson has countless projects that he's gonna go work on and then eventually come back to Stormlight. And so basically he'll be writing books until I die, I'm sure. Or I'll have books to read until, let's not talk about death right now. Anyway, wish me luck on these here thickums McGee's. Okay, the next one. Oh, what is that lighting? Okay, so the next one, I have read the first book in, and that is the Winnowing Flame trilogy by Jen Williams. So I've read the 9th Reign, and I really did love this. I had a great time, and then I started the second one, The Bitter Twins, and I was very slumpy, and so I never finished it. And I got these are the broken binding editions, but I have the paperbacks that I have. So that one's in the room, still has a bookmark in it. So I never finished it, but I don't know why, because like I said, loved the 9th Reign, was having a good time in this one, again, was just slumpy. So it's one that I want to get back to, but I do think I probably would have to restart The Bitter Twins because it's been so long. And then there's one more in the series. Now, I don't know if I would be able to get to the Poison Song this year. That would be nice. I at least just want to restart this and finish it this year. That would be great. This one is like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like this world where there are these people, there's like humans, but then there's like these not humans. I forgot what they're called, but essentially the not humans, they're dying out, and they're like, their world is kind of dying. But like one of them, he like teams up with this person who's like, what is she, a historian, an explorer? There's a witch, there's these like, all these different animal things, and trying to figure out if there's a way to like save his people world. Yeah, not a good explanation, but anyway, this was a great first book, so I need to continue, and if I finish the trilogy this year, that would be a bonus, but I'm not gonna put that pressure on myself because I already have some chunky books to read. But Jessica, if we could just read The Bitter Twins, that would be great. This one is a more simple task because currently there's only 2. There is a 3rd coming out in July, but that's with Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. I read this. This was one of the few fairy loot books I actually read and really enjoyed. It is it's a witch story, but present day. They're employed by the crown, but there's like this prophecy of some big bad that's to come, and the witches we follow in the story are friends who they've known each other since they were younger, and they all have like different abilities, but now they're kind of splintered as adults. And so we're seeing these different, like, I don't want to say alliances, but like this one works with the government, and like these two also, but like they're not as gung-ho. This one has left completely and is like doing something else. It's very interesting. And there's like this prophecy about something bad and looming coming. And it's very interesting. Usually fantastical stories that are in present day usually don't work for me, but this one I really liked. And so I got the second one. I was really excited to read it, and then, you know me, I didn't. But that's The Shadow Cabinet, the sequel. And I have started this one, and of course not finished, but there is going to be, I don't think the third one comes out till next year, but there's like a prequel, like a 0.5 that comes out at the end of July. And so I would like to finally read this to be caught up, and then eventually read 0.5, and then next year read the other one. Cause it's like, here's my problem with series is I'm always like, okay, well, I read the first book and I really liked it. And then the next one I'm like, okay, well, do I read it? Then I'll have to wait again for the next one. I'll have to reread. But it's like, I can't just keep putting off every single series because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to reread it before I read the next book. And I can't wait for every single series to be finished because then I'm never going to read them. So I just need, really what I need to do is get better at summarizing the book for my goddamn self. So after I read it, I can just refresh myself or like go back, flip through some tabs and get an idea of the outline or plot of the story so I can just go into the next one. But you know, that's asking a lot of myself. But anyway, this would be nice. There's only 2 so far, so if I could just read this one, that would bring me up to speed. Well, if I read it before the end of July. Anyway, I had fun with this one. You should read it. Another trilogy that's complete would be the Atlas, I don't know what it's called. Is it just the Atlas 6, like the name of the series? I just realized I grabbed 2 of the same book. Hold on. The Atlas trilogy, that's what it's called. So, this is by Olivia Blake. I know a lot of people know about this one, and this one got really popular on TikTok, I think, and then picked up by a traditional publisher because it was indie published at first. The Atlas 6 is the one that I've read. I have not read The Atlas Paradox or The Atlas Complex, which I think just finished this year. This has come out earlier. First published in the UK 2024 by Tor. Yeah, so this one came out, this just finished earlier this year. So I know there's a lot of people who didn't like the Atlas 6, and there's a lot of people who loved it. Now, I liked it a lot. It's not perfect. It wasn't the best book I've ever read. Like some people are like, oh my God. But it has potential, and I like the story. Do I remember what happened? See, again, no. And so I would need to reread this. Because I don't remember what happened. I remember like, yeah, I don't remember much. So I would need to reread this to continue going. But essentially this is like Dark Academia. I think it's like some kind of program they're competing to get into, but there's 6 of them, but there's only 5 spots. And so there's some conspiring, some shenanigans, and some murder, I think. That's all I can remember. So yeah, so it's recruitment by the mysterious Atlas Blakely. They travel to Society London's headquarters, and they study and innovate within esoteric subject areas, and if they can prove themselves over the course of a year, they'll survive. Most of them. Dun dun dun! So 6 extraordinary magicians, 5 chances to win, 1 secret society. Anyway, when I read it, I had a good time, so I need to get back to it so I can finish it. And I should also probably read the other Olivia Blake books that I have on my shelf, but let's not talk about that right now. Mind your business. Okay, another one that my patrons are gonna help me read and get through, which should not be hard anyway, is Amari. So I've read Amari and the Night Brothers, and I have not read Amari and the Great Game Be Quiet because stress. But the third, and I'm pretty sure the final one, comes out in August. I'll put it here, Amari and the, I forgot. So we're gonna read these 2. We're gonna read this, and then read this, and then read the new one when it comes out at the end of August. This is a middle grade series that I have raved about on my channel. But essentially, Amari, her brother goes missing, and people are like, oh, he just must be gone. He's probably dead. And she's like, no, I'm not giving up looking for my brother. And she keeps looking and she keeps looking and discovers some things, and it leads her to this basically like magical summer camp. So she's learning stuff about herself, her brother that she didn't know. And it's like, what's going on? What happened to her brother? Were these people responsible? It's great. It's a great story. I loved this one. And I heard that there was like a cliffhanger at the end of this one, and I'm like, stress. I don't want to do that. I don't want to wait. So that's why I waited. So I'm going to reread this, read that, read the next one. I'm going to do it. Cousin BB deserves all the love. If you have not read this, even if you've been like, YA fantasy is not working for me, middle grade hits different. Middle grade hits different, and you should give these a read. But ooh, I didn't realize that was textured. So good. I know this is getting too bold, but in the same middle grade vein, Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. I've only read the first one, Nevermore, and I love this. This was so good. Again, this is middle grade, but it's, even as an adult, you can enjoy this. Then there is, oops, are these in order? Wondersmith, The Calling of Morgan Crow, and then Hollowpox, The Hunt for Morgan Crow, and then the fourth one is called like Silverborn, I think I'll put here. It was supposed to come out last year and it got pushed back till I think September of this year. And so then last year I was like, oh, I'm gonna reread them and I'm gonna reread the first one and continue. And then I didn't because it got pushed back, so I would like to do that. I still remember a decent bit about what happened in this, but it's been a while and I would just like to reread it anyway. And middle grade is just so nice and like quick that even though the book is like 450 pages, it's obviously shorter and the words are bigger. So I feel like me and adult fantasy have been really struggling this year, just like with the newer releases or things I've been reading. I've just been like, they're not hitting. And I feel like there's just something so special and magical about middle grade fantasy that is just like really what I'm wanting. So that would be nice. I don't know. This isn't the highest priority. I'm not doing a read along or anything like that with this one, but I would like to get back to these. Even if I don't catch up before the new one comes out, I would at least like to reread and read the second one, but we shall see. But this is a middle grade story about Morgan Crow, and she is treated terribly by her family because there's like a curse, like something that's gonna happen on her 11th birthday. She's blamed for basically everything because she was born on the unluckiest day for a child to be born. And so right on this like day when something's about to happen, oh, I think she's been cursed to die on her 11th birthday. But right as that is about to happen, this person, Jupiter, has come to basically save her and take her to this, magical world. And there's like a sassy cat who talks. And I just remember having such a good time with this one. And see, I really want to reread it now. So I think, because I've been in the itch for reading, I've had the itch for a good magical time. And I picked up, this was about a week ago, the second Emily Wilde book. And I was just like, no. And I think this is what I need. Now this next one, you're gonna be like, Jessica, why? Why? And it's because I own them. And it is the sequel after Empire of Silence, which I think is this one. Yes, Sun Eater book 2. Okay, so Empire of Silence. I started out having a good time with this book. I felt like it went on too long, and then the ending was really good. And I had already purchased the next ones. And so I was like, I don't know. And I still don't know, because it's so big. Like this one is longer than the first one. This, look how chunky that is. Pages are so weird. These are thicker pages because this only says 675 pages, but this looks way chunkier than that. A good premise, a good setup, middle was lagging, great ending. Do I remember everything that happened there? No. Am I gonna reread that one if I read? No. I think I bought the audiobook, so I would re-listen maybe to the last 25%, but like, I don't know, I just keep hearing people rave about the series and it, like as it's going, and I'm like, I already own the next one, so I probably should at least give it a try. Can I tell you much about what this series? No, I really can't. So I would need to refresh myself on the ending to see what's gonna go on in this one. Like, I don't know, who the fuck is that supposed to be? I don't know who this is. So this is not a high priority, but maybe. It's a maybe. I just realized the last one I wanted to talk about, I left in the room, but it is, I think, Adulthood Rights in the Lilith's Brood series by Octavia Butler. So I read Dawn, and here's the thing. I struggle. I think Octavia Butler has great stories. Her writing isn't the best for me particularly, but I still want to read her stories, it's very hard to explain. It is called Lilith's Brood or The Exogenesis. 3. Dawn, Adulthood Rights in Imago or Imago. Anyway, it was published in 1997. I think Octavia Butler was like way ahead of her time in science fiction. Like Parable of the Sower was so fucking freaky to read. And when did I read it? 2021? Because it was set in 2024 and it's like terrifying. It's terrifying to read. You should read it. So I still think it was a great book. I just didn't like love the reading experience. And I think it's her writing, but that's just me. But that's why I still like want to read her books, because I know they're going to be a great story. And maybe that's hypocritical. I was like, if you don't like the writing, why do you keep reading it? It's not like the writing isn't the worst, but I just struggle to get through them. Like it takes me a while. But I still want to, after reading Dawn, want to read the next one. And I already own the next one, which is Adulthood Rights. So that is one that I have wanted to pick up and see where that goes. I think that is a direct sequel after Dawn, since it is. So I'm never gonna say I don't like Octavia Butler. It's weird, but I'm going to continue to read her books because she's Octavia Butler. Rest in peace. But anyway, that has been a lot of yapping. That's a lot of books, especially for me to get through. And here's the thing. Y'all know I've been reading a lot of fanfic, which I think has been keeping me out of a slump, because when I don't want to read something published, I can just read a fanfic, short, long, happy, sad, and I'm like, yes, I love reading, and then I come back. So that's the real struggle. It's not if I'm going to want to read, it's what I'm going to want to read and if I can get through these. Again, the only ones I really do want to be up to date with are Amari and Stormlight Archive. So wish me luck. Also, are you reading any of these or have any plans to read any of these, or do you have anything that you would like to read or catch up with by the end of the year? Please let me know. And again, how is it? It's June 19th. It's Juneteenth. How? Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay blessed, hydrated, moisturize, and sunscreen. And did it get dark, or is it? Did it get dark outside? What is going on? I don't know. Anyway, stay blessed, hydrated, moisturize, and sunscreen. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.